Mark T. Elliot, spring of 2021 cohort.
Boom.
Like, not a lot of people get to do this job full time. I think it's something like less than 10% of voice actors who call themselves voice actors make 10 grand a year. So, I mean, it's very gratifying looking at all of my friends working their 9-to-5s and me just being able to make silly voices in my booth. I mean, it's not all silly voices, but the fulfillment I get from my job as opposed to my pay or the benefits makes like every day worth it. Typical day, we wake up, we stay in bed a little too long, have a coffee, hit up the gym specifically to loosen up the body, do some stretches. Love me a good rollout afterwards. Head into the booth after I brush my teeth, because oof. And we audition for about 4 hours, take a break, eat lunch. And in the evening, I'll usually have clients from overseas who just want a little narration done. Go to sleep and look forward to doing it all over again. Well, I had like a few small jobs here and there, but if it's my first big job, it was a whole year later. However, that one job paid for all of my schooling, and I bought my car with it, which is why my dad calls it my commercial vehicle. It didn't feel real at first. I remember where I was when I got the call. I was at Costco shopping with my girlfriend, and it was a bit of a stressful time because, you know, your first year of voiceover, the start of any business, you're not making money right off the bat. You're still paying off expenses like the booth and everything. I was like, I hope this is working out, but I know I'm doing everything right. We just gotta believe. And I had my friend's wedding coming up that was the best man of in the Philippines. So I had all this money stress. And then my agent calls me. I was like, you know the thing you were on call for? Yeah? Congratulations. This is your first booking and the second largest payout I've ever seen on talent. And immediately told my girlfriend, she kissed me. I called my best friend, I was like, hey man, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be at the wedding. 3 things: experience, knowledge, and relationships. The experience, like, I can get very in my head. I can be a very nervous person. And walking into a gig that paid 5 figures, I should have been like, oh man, what if I mess up? What am I gonna do? But I had everything. I walked in and I was like, oh, this looks just like this booth. I'm fine. I've been here before. I've done a workshop here before. And I came in and I just thought about all the lessons I did. I talked to the sound engineer, we cracked some jokes, had a good time. And when I got there, they told me, hey, your partner will be coming soon. I'm like, my partner? It's like, yeah, so you're doing a few ads for the radio ad. We have one other guy. I was like, oh, good. So my first big gig ever. I also have to work with a stranger. Awesome. But, you know, professional face, just on the mic, loosening up, like, this will be fine. They're a professional, I'm a professional, we'll just get along. And then Zach Sage walked in, who is another graduate of OTM and one of my best friends. And it was a blast. It was amazing. We were just behind the scenes, we were talking about what voice he was gonna do for his character. And he was like, oh, they hired me for this voice, but I don't know about this voice. Like, what about that voice? And we just kept going back and forth and back and forth. And yeah, it was a great experience. Made a lot of money, made a lot of good memories, made a lot of good impressions, and oh man, good job. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, distance from the mic isn't even a thought in my head. I hit my mark and I know what I'm doing. I'm so comfortable with an engineer on the other side. I know that when people are talking, it's not necessarily about me and my performance. They're just talking about, oh, we need to get the client this and that, and what do you guys want to get for lunch? And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, business as usual. It's fine. It's like I've already been doing it professionally for, well, 6 months. Again, the business side of voiceover, of any artistic endeavor, is it doesn't get the attention and credit and time that it needs and deserves for most people who are starting some kind of new profession. Like, voiceover is a passion for a lot of people, but for those who make a living off of it, it is a business. And knowing like your expenses, taxes, signing contracts, NDAs, your W8 bends, like working overseas and everything. Like, the fact that I had all of that prepped in me and that I knew it was a pillar of voiceover is one of the biggest reasons that I was able to make it my full-time job. Because I treated it like a job, not just, I'm only after animation and video games. Like, no, I gotta network, I gotta get those narration gigs to pay the bills. That's what I'm doing every night with my overseas clients. And yeah, without OTM, without that prep work, I would be so lost. As soon as I started getting into upgrading my equipment, like I started with the Rode NTA1 and the Scarlett Solo, like most people do, the cheapest package that came. And as I started hearing about like branding yourself with high quality equipment and what the standards were, I was like, well, I mean, I don't drive a Ferrari and I don't own a Ferrari, but I'd like it to seem like I do. So I sprung for like the top of the line stuff, but specifically the ones that I knew would work for my voice and work for my booth. And I was only able to find out what those were by having extensive conversations with the studio's engineer. And he helped me pick everything out, and I ended up getting the Neumann TLM 103, the hallmark of all the good voiceover microphones. And I did start off with an Apollo, but it does not like to play well with certain online applications. So I went back to the engineer, I was like, what else is good? And now I got a Lewitt Connect 6, and I mean, I've done like $6,000 jobs with that thing and no complaints. I don't think I have, but that's only because OTM really hammered into me how important those things were from the get-go. Like, I've gotten a deeper appreciation for how demos should be and what like specific casting directors are looking for in like specific regions or specific genres of voiceover. I've even written a few demos for other people since then and work with another demo producer to write video game and animation demos. But I mean, it's a constant case of, ooh, okay, this is in vogue now. All right, I like the way this sounded, but not on my demo. We just gotta cut everything together. I'll reorder my demo. This guy said that he likes it better when he hears your natural voice without any of this, blah, 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 blah. But like, it's just keeping up with what OTM hammered into me. No, I'm definitely still seeking out schooling. I mean, you're never really done learning, right? Especially in an industry that is evolving day by day. Like, you never know what's gonna be the new thing in voiceover. So even the person who's absolutely perfect 10 out of 10 on Tuesday is gonna need a little something different on Wednesday, right? So I'm always taking new classes, learning from new people, getting advice from peers and even some teachers from OTM. And also going to workshops. Like just this Friday, I did a workshop with a casting director at Ubisoft, and I learned a ton about AAA games and the factory work of recording those little tidbits, especially in like the military games, where you don't think about how one person is going deploying, 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 and just 2 hours of nothing but that. Like, there's still so much I don't know. But because OTM broadened my scope so much, I know more of the things I don't know and I can chase after them better. But I wasn't gonna book. I mean, everyone's got that. Well, most people got that in the back of their head, I'd say. It takes a very special person drinking a lot of their own Kool-Aid to have complete confidence that they're gonna walk into the studio and be like, give me all the auditions, I will earn everything. But yeah, because there is a certain component of luck involved. And, you know, you can have the greatest performance of your life, but it might not be to the taste of the director. And, you know, that scared me that was just, you know, I was never going to be to the tastes of the casting director forever. But, you know, luck is a factor, but the more times you get to be put in a position where you are lucky, the higher the chance that you will be lucky. So I just got to keep putting in the work, got to keep putting in auditions, and eventually luck called me and it was like, hey, you can buy a car and pay off your tuition. I think it's the people around me. Like, my peers and my community are constantly pushing me forward as a businessman and an artist and an actor. And like, two of my best friends are from my cohort of OTM, and we still talk voiceover all the time. And we're prepping each other up every time. It's Tariq. Every time Tariq's like, am I doing well enough? Am I good enough? I'm like, Tariq, you're in the Avatar video game. You were talking to me last week about how you couldn't remember how many bookings you've had because there've been so many. I think you're doing okay. You're like, yeah, I'm fine. And I'll be like, well, you know, things could be going better. And it's like, yeah. And they could be going a lot worse, but you're full-time voiceover and I'm working at a bank, so shut up. I would say that there have been lots of voice actors who have been successful without this kind of program. But to get that condensed learning and to get contact with casting directors and voiceover professionals and that time in the booth, you could probably save 5 to 10 years of struggling around by just doing the program for 6 months and learning from people. And I think even more important than that, though, is just the people you meet here. Like, I think every single person in voiceover who matters to me personally and has pushed me on my journey is at most 1 degree separated from OTM. I either know them directly from OTM or I know them from someone I met at OTM. And without my community, I would not be here. I would not be as happy and thriving as I am. Definitely wouldn't be full-time. And I would be so confused about contracts and what to rate and how much practice I should be doing and who to go to. But anytime I have a question, I just ask someone I met at OTM. And then we get coffee and it's a great time. I'm still at the beginning of my career and I'm doing pretty all right. Like, things have only been progressively getting better for me. And I know my skill is growing and I know that the market, it's always in flux, but everyone I've asked in the past year and a half has been like, you just gotta, you know, make it till next year. It's a little slow right now. But even with it being so slow, I made it full time. If I can make it in like the sparsest of times at like the lowest skill level I'm going to have, assuming that I keep growing and getting stronger, which I will because, you know, I'm always learning, always taking classes. There's nowhere to go but up, right? Oh, of course. I mean, before I came to On the Mic training, like on the day of my first open house, I didn't even come for myself. I came because my friend Colin was like, I've been interested in voiceover and, you know, there's this school downtown, it's just starting a full-time program and I really need a ride and it'd be nice to have a friend. So I went with him and I was like, I have a passing interest in voiceover. I like animation in video games a lot. I appreciate the art. And then you guys started going over all the different genres of voiceover. I was like, oh, I never really even thought of like the commercials, the audiobooks, the people who read your training modules. Like, there's so much voiceover all around me, and people have got to be doing it. So, should I give that a shot? I mean, I love human communication. I love language. I love acting, and I love telling a story. And, you know, what better way to get access to all the stories you can than to just be telling all these brilliant writers' stories and, you know, making a bit of money on the side to pay for rent and food. I mean, I got one job that paid for the entire thing, so I'd say it was worth the investment. I would not have a career without OTM. Like, if I was gonna redo my voiceover journey from square one in 100 different lifetimes, I would be signing up for my cohort at OTM in every single one of those realities. The NDA is big. There's some projects I'd love to share right now. There's one that literally I'm sending in my final bits tomorrow, and it'll be my first lead role, but NDA, so I can't talk about it. But I recently got on a game called Vampire Clans. They were using AI voices and people were not happy. So they recast because you want to make your players happy, right? And I ended up as the tutorial NPC who was very laid back and snarky. What a night, huh? His last line is, "You're gonna die here," right before he dies there, and it's great.
Have we met? I have weak memory for weak faces. Anyway, you won't breathe much longer.
I've done a few commercials. Right now, I think it should be right now, there's gonna be 12 days of prizes, something for like Vancouver touristry, I assume, because initially I was paid just for Vancouver, and then Ralph, my agent, called and was like, "Hey, they want to show this in Seattle, so they're doubling your pay. Is that okay?" Nah, I'll take it. And it was also my first singing gig, which was insane. I walked in, and there was someone who was releasing their first single, a musical theater person who was going on tour next year, a professional opera singer who has her own voiceover studio, a voice studio downtown, and then there was me, who's Filipino. That's basically my qualifications. But yeah, that was just last month, first singing gig. It was great. And yeah, I guess I'm really good at Christmas commercials. I also did a nationwide thing in the States for wineenthusiast.com, where I got to play Santa, which I think is something that 50% of male voiceover artists will do at one point in their life. It's a cool thing to get off the bucket list so soon, especially when I'm not exactly the deepest voice in the room, but ho 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 well, I got it.
I can hear you doing some Santa. You got some deep pipes. I can hear Santa coming out of there.
All right, well, he did come out of there.
Yeah.
So many corporate videos. I can't even keep track of how many corporate videos I've done at this point. I have a client overseas who he'll send me scripts that take about 2 minutes. They're all sizzle reels for these different businesses. And my record in one day, I think I did 87 for him. Yeah, all in one day. That was a very busy day of recording. That's not even my longest day of recording, though. I had another, I think I'm technically under NDA, so I can't say what it is, but the deadline was coming up and everything was super busy and I needed to keep things consistent with my voice. So I was like, yeah, I'll get in the booth, I'll see how long I can keep this going, and by the end of it, what I have done is done, I'll do the rest later. And when I finished it, I have a voiceover manager and I had some stuff to do for her, and I texted her at 2 p.m. Hey, I finished that thing I was recording. I started at 8 p.m. yesterday. I've been recording for 15 straight hours. I'm gonna go to sleep now. But it worked, and I got feedback from the writer/director, and they're like, hey, so there are like a few things that we want you to, just a few quick edits, but you did make me cry with the speech, so good job. So, good to know that I've officially made someone cry with my voiceover on purpose. Also, the character kind of got older as time went on, and as my voice got a little rougher, I was like, oh, this is perfect. It's an acting choice.